What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an edition of Brooklyn Verse. We're here talking about gruesome injuries this week. That's our topic. This week has not been a great week for players, and having some injuries that really aren't good looking to the eye. My name is Dr. Philly Keggs. I'm your host tonight. I got next to me, returning, Chris Cross Lazaro, and also returning, I guess, a little. We got DB, Donnie Boss. You know him from Picking with Donnie and Boo. He's here with us tonight. So, guys, our theme for this week is going to be gruesome injuries because we had, right off the bat, Alex Smith had a brutal one. On the Nets, Levert had a bad one this week, and this all happened in this week. What we're going to do, though, we're going to back it up a little bit. We're going to start in Alex Smith's division. We're going to start with the New York Football Giants and the whole NFC East. So I'm a Giants fan. Mm-hmm. We're going to start. The Giants won 2 straight games.
What?
Let's all celebrate, guys. Let's all celebrate. No. This is the first time the Giants have won 2 straight games in 700 days. So that's what we're looking at as a Giant fan. It's the first winning streak in 2 years. So, Donnie, I'm going to ask you, is this real at all?
No. So, all right, so they played a couple of, they played a couple of absolute bottom teams in the NFL, like losers. You know, they played the Bucs, and it was like the worst defense in football, and they played the 49ers, who might have one of the worst offenses in football. Yeah. Now, you might get excited because the Giants do actually have a really good offense, and they're starting to show that, what everybody thought they'd be. So you got that. They still have a terrible defense, and they also showed that yesterday.
And they also traded guys on that defense, too.
Yeah. Oh, no, they gave up. Yeah.
So the only thing with the Giants is that you had a couple of games that Gano field goal. You know, that 61-yard field goal at the hole one. When I looked at the Redskins kicker kicked the 60-yard field goal, he was about 8 yards short when he kicked it, and Gano hits a 61-yard field goal to win the game. Mm-hmm. You know, the Giants always have 1 or 2 games that they leave on the field. That now, since they're so behind the 8 ball here, if they won 1 or 2 of those games, you wouldn't be looking at 3-7. Maybe you'll be looking at 4-6, 5-5, whatever it be. Now you could actually have this discussion that we're having. Oh, maybe they're on the up and up.
Agreed on that, but they didn't win those
But they
games.
didn't. You're right. No, you're 100%. So I'll ask Chris, what do they have to do to actually take them seriously? They're going into Philly this week, and still a divisional game. You know, could be a big game. What do they have to do where you'll actually take notice and go, okay, let me see what the Giants are actually doing?
Everybody's saying now that one of the big reasons why the Giants are winning is because Eli's actually getting protected. And
a little bit. It could be the defenses, like Donnie said.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm saying what they're talking about on local sports radio is that Eli's getting protection, and now he's, if not on the better half of the NFL quarterbacks, he's at least an average quarterback when he has protection.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I don't even know if I agree with that yet, but Eli's obviously definitely been playing better the last couple of weeks. What do they need to do? They need to keep giving Saquon the ball and not force feed the ball to Beckham. He had 2 targets or 2 catches yesterday, and you saw what they did offensively.
Well, I agree. Their offensive line needs to be ran, but Barkley really looks amazing.
He does.
What I meant is that obviously I'm happy to see the Giants win 2 straight games. Actually have this offense look like something. If they beat Philly, now they're 4-7. I'm still not taking them seriously, but I'm taking a little more notice because now you have actually a big game. If they really do beat Philly and then they come home to face Chicago, a tough team, as we see, they just beat Minnesota. Now you're actually talking about if they win this game, now I might actually start paying attention to what the Giants are doing. They need to I know.
No, I'm not arguing that. I have another perspective, though, which is that if they win the game and the Redskins also somehow beat it's the Cowboys this week in the Thanksgiving special. Yep. I still don't like their chances, though, because then you have a 7-4, even with Colt McCoy, who showed he could actually play, against a 4-7.
It's true.
I don't like those odds as much.
You do face them once, though. That would help.
It does.
They had 3 games, though. Yeah.
The Giants have to be 5-7 for me to actually think that they have a chance of anything. They have
Fair
to win
enough,
the next 2. I'm not going crazy over these games. It's nice to see them win, like I said, but if they can win 2 more. I'm glad you mentioned the Redskins, though. You know, I'll go to Dallas first. Dallas really looks like they're on the up and up now, too. They're playing well. They just beat Atlanta at Atlanta. Now, Atlanta's not an amazing team, but at home they're a different team. They went into Atlanta, beat Atlanta. They beat Philly on the road. They won 2 big road games, and now they're home for Washington. This is a huge game for Dallas and Washington.
Right.
You know, Philly's on there. And Washington just lost their quarterback, which we're going to talk about in less than a minute.
Right.
But what do you think of the Cowboys? Do you think they're for real that they can be the team coming out of that division?
Again, they are for real, but it's because their defense, which they set up nicely, is actually starting to play very well. They're a defense. They're more of a defensive team right now.
I agree.
They're starting to come around on offense, but they're
seem like an
defensively oriented.
old school team with defense and running with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, like my Jets, sure.
Exactly.
When they were good.
The division's completely open.
It is.
Completely
open.
open.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Dallas looks like the best team right now.
In football, anything
Right
can
now,
happen.
it could change in 3 weeks, but
Every single week, the narrative changes in the East Division because I'm not buying even if the Redskins get to 7-4 that they're the favorites to win the division. I'm still giving it to the Eagles or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You can't.
You're right.
The winner of the division is going to go 9-7, I think.
Absolutely, you're getting a 9-7 and 97 or 8-8 winner of that division.
I'm going to go 9-7. I was hearing 8-8 on the radio today. I don't think so.
I think 9-7 wins the division too. I got to say, what about this scenario though? What if the Eagles beat the Giants, which does happen a lot in division rivalries? They do not hold up lately, anyway. What if the Eagles go out there and win 40-10, which has been happening in the NFL a lot this year, and the Redskins win by a field goal, let's say in a close game? I mean, do you really still like the scenario of all of a sudden the Cowboys are this team that's on the rise?
No.
Or no, all of a sudden everybody's saying the Eagles are now right back in it, and they look strong.
The NFC East right now is a week-to-week division. That's
why I agree with you. So it looks open for everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, Dallas looks like the team.
That's why
in 1 or 2 weeks, like you said, Philly could look like that team.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, the Redskins looked like that team. They were leading the division.
Good defense also, by the way. Yeah.
And then they got hit pretty bad. I know you said Colt McCoy, but we're going to jump into Alex Smith had an extremely gruesome injury that I'm sure everyone saw. He was getting sacked. He got his ankle turned, and he snapped his leg. And it looked horrible, and it actually looked almost exactly like Joe Theismann, another famous Redskins QB, broke his leg. And in a very, very eerie situation, it was 33 years ago to the exact day that Alex Smith broke his leg, that Joe Theismann broke his leg. So the coincidence is insane.
Wait,
right? He's got
you know more of the coincidence? More of the coincidence?
Jump in, let's go.
You're not going to believe this if you didn't hear this. It was the same exact score in the game that Theismann. Did you hear that? No. It was the same exact score in the game that Theismann broke his.
Our producer told me before.
Okay,
that's insane.
But it was the opposite.
It was the opposite. So Redskins were winning.
Theismann's team won. Yeah.
So,
but that
injury was bad.
Lawrence Taylor also did.
Yeah, and Lawrence. You remember that video when Lawrence Taylor snapped his leg? Lawrence Taylor jumped up and just screamed. And he said he's never watched it again because he doesn't want to watch it. It's too disgusting. But that was a really bad injury. It goes to show you how dangerous football is and always will be because you're hitting each other like this. Anytime can happen. So first, we'll talk about the impact on the Redskins that has. Then we'll actually talk about the injury. Chris, what do you think that does to the Redskins now? We're talking about this week-to-week basis with the NFC East. All the Redskins, have they fallen now?
Real quick, before I specifically answer that, I'm just going to say in general, my philosophy per se on football, especially football out of all sports, is whenever people, which is everybody in the industry, in radio broadcasting, predicts the team that's going to win a certain division when it's super close, and says it with such surety or certainty,
conviction.
And it's if you disagree with them, you're an idiot. I laugh because nobody knows what's going to happen in the NFL that week, that day. Nobody knows what's going to happen the next quarter. So our jobs are to make predictions, etc. That's what makes it fun and interesting. But anybody that's telling me, you count out the Giants, or you count out the Redskins, or you count out the Cowboys, or you count out the Eagles, every team has an argument for why they can win the division. With that being said, the Redskins, I'm gonna put them second last as far as winning the division. I'm gonna put the Giants last. I'm gonna go. Right now, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Yeah. But obviously, anything can happen.
Like we said, it could change. Now, Smith's injury, even more details came about it. It was gruesome. His ankle was bent in a way it shouldn't be bent, and it was just hanging there, and you saw the agonizing pain. The fracture pierced through the skin, and he broke both bones that connect his knee to the ankle, the tibia and the fibula. So he snapped both of them, and it broke in a spiral fashion, which broke with as you could see, he was getting tackled like a little rotation component.
Right.
So all that compound, spiral fracture, pierced the skin. That's a nasty, nasty injury. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of times when you break a bone in the lower leg, it's one of those bones, but he snapped both of them. So he's looking at a massive amount of rehabilitation.
Okay.
Similar to a couple of guys that we saw maybe last year.
Sure.
But, you know, they say career-threatening. It's hard to say anything's career-threatening anymore. You know, we had one injury last year. That was the only time I thought career-threatening. Because if you remember when Zach Miller hyperextended his knee, now we're talking about gruesome injuries, the popliteal artery got damaged, which was blood flow to his leg, and he almost had his leg amputated.
Right.
That's career-threatening. You almost have your leg amputated. With the surgeries and the rehab that people go, you know, it's going to be hard for him to play again, but I wouldn't say his career is definitely over because his age is a factor against him. He is 33 years old.
Okay, so I was actually just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
So it's not an automatic he's back for summer camp next year.
No, I wouldn't say 100%, but I wouldn't. A lot of people saying like, oh, his career might be over. I'd put odds on more that he could get back. Maybe not back to the level. It's really going to come down. So much more is going to come out with injury. Like you said, predictions for sports. I do the same thing with injuries. Right. It's so hard to come and say like, oh, he'll be back by summer camp. I think it's going to be a tough road for him to come back by summer camp, if anything. You know?
Okay, and I would say if it's on him, we know he's going to push because he's got 3 more years and a lot more money to go on that contract.
Exactly.
So he's going to do
but
everything he can.
He does have injury insurance with it.
He does, okay.
Right. But when you break the bone, if it ends up, when they look at all this thing, if everything was clean, no ligament damage, which there really aren't ligaments in that area where he broke it, I don't know what his ankle might have broke a lot of ligaments, so I can't speak to that just yet because I didn't read about ligament damage. But if it's just bone, then he has a better chance. Once you start bringing in all the ligaments and everything, it's a lot harder for the rehab.
As soon as the injury happened yesterday, shout out to Steve Gamberg, I was with Steve, Bay guy. I was with Steve Gamberg watching football, and I said, I feel bad, Alec. I feel bad for the guy, even though he gets paid millions of dollars. His career's over. It's funny you said that because that's what I said right when it happened. And he goes, "You think his career's over?" I said, "Well, the reason being is because he's 33. In football age, that's old, and he's not good enough. He's not on the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Yeah, but he's not on the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady level. When he does come back, he'll fight for a starting job." First of all, he's not going to be back for at least a year. Well, he's going to be 34, 35. That's all. He's going to be a backup. He's going to be a backup fighting for a fight.
That's all part and parcel to what Phil is saying, though. In my estimation, if he comes back for summer camp next year, it's still his team.
No, it's not.
I agree.
I don't think they're going to bring somebody else in.
Colt McCoy's not good.
It's not going to be McCoy either. They're not going to have a...
Look, 33 years ago, that injury was a career ending. Joe Theismann never played again. Right. We said 33 years exact. Fast forward 33 years with all the advancement we make and surgeries.
He's not good enough, though. He's an average quarterback right now.
So you're saying he's going to be back by week 16?
He's coming back. But we talk about Levert's injury. Levert on the Nets also had a very gruesome looking injury. His ankle was turned much like Alex Smith just was. And you talk about best case scenarios. So he had a subtalar dislocation. I'll break that down real quick. You have your tibia and fibula connects to your talus, or then connects to your heel, which is your calcaneus.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
You're welcome. Alex Smith broke the tibia and fibula on top of that, which connects to the talus. Levert only dislocated the talus and the calcaneus. So he dislocated underneath what usually people break. Broke no bones and tore no ligaments. He'll be back in a couple months. That is literally, I can't imagine how lucky he got. I know it doesn't look like he got lucky, but having your leg hanging like that, he got really lucky. Did you see the Wolves guy that was next to him when they went down? Looked like he saw a zombie. He looked at him.
I have to ask you, though, on that. So, is there any chance that he actually just was protected because he was wearing high-top basketball sneakers?
I would give it a small chance because you do wear high-top sneakers. High-top sneakers do help combat like an ankle sprain and things like that. And
that's why when you explain that, I thought maybe...
An ankle sprain is that turning that you get when you fracture the ankle. So maybe it helps an ankle sprain, but a force that breaks the fracture, that high top's not going to help you. Okay. Honestly, if you're going into break, you'd have to wear like a boot.
They're harder nowadays, though.
I know, but that force to break the bone, that high top's not really gonna stop it. But we mentioned real quick that injury. We said it looks similar to other injuries, so that's gonna bring us the question for this week. We've had 2 gruesome injuries in the past week. This year, we also had Tyler Eifert also broke his ankle in a gruesome way.
Rear injury case.
Exactly. He's always injured.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back a few years. I want to ask you guys think about what is some of the most gruesome injuries you guys have seen? Chris, I'll start with
I didn't purposely watch a YouTube video on this after Alex Smith got injured yesterday because I didn't know we were going to talk about this until today.
Yeah.
But the injuries that I saw in the video are ones I already knew about, which, I mean, to me, there's like 4 of them that are no-brainers, which are, the Paul George injury, Olympics.
That was an exhibition.
Disgusting. It's disgusting.
That's actually the most, I was going to say, that's the most gruesome I've ever seen.
That went 90 degrees. Yeah, that was really bad.
And it's because, again, Steve
And
and
now,
I...
see, he did that, just real quick, he did that and broke all the bones.
Cleanly.
Levert did very similar and didn't break anything. That's how lucky he was, but continue.
Paul George is just as good as he was before the injury, after the injury. It's unbelievable.
They're not
incredible.
these things, to go back to what you said, these things aren't career-ending anymore. However, Paul George...
For Alex Smith, it is.
Paul George was 20 years old. That helps him. That's 13 years old. So Paul George was definitely one.
We'll see if Hayward was
another one.
Late 20s. He'll
back
recover.
already,
He'll recover.
He was back
And the
already.
NBA is different. See, quarterbacks, there's only 30 jobs. That's what it is. There's only 30 starting quarterback jobs.
Right.
That's what, Gordon Hayward is going to be a serviceable
Hayward's was
starter.
nasty, too.
It was nasty.
You know things
Yeah,
Hayward's
big-time
too?
scorer.
Hayward's too is first game with the Celtics.
Yeah.
National spotlight, facing LeBron. First
A minute
2
in.
minutes.
Yeah.
Breaks his ankle on national television, on TNT. That was nasty, too.
Terrible.
So you're going to say Paul George, but you got another one in mind?
Yeah, I was going to say, aside from Paul George, I'm trying to think if I had anything that
Funny
was...
how it's usually the lower leg, right? With Paul George.
Well,
Gordon
no,
Hayward,
but that makes
Joe
complete sense, though,
Theismann.
because that's how you're going to fall.
Do you remember the guy from Louisville?
Louisville,
Yeah.
It was Ware, right?
Yeah, I watched the game. Yeah, sure.
That bone was sticking
in the
out.
national
and it's-
championship,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Final Four. And the bone was sticking out. They had to put a towel over it because there was one camera shot that caught the bone.
That was like
stuff, man.
before, like since the Theismann injury.
His
that
career
was
was over. His career was over.
Yeah,
It wasn't-
absolutely,
and
yep.
because he wasn't that good too. Go back what you said about
No, I was gonna say that was
Poor
the
kid.
first. Like in the last few years, we've seen a series of these like leg being turned the other way, foot being turned the other way. That Louisville one about 6 years ago was the first one in that chain. Otherwise, I can't recall that happening many times throughout the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Well,
maybe I don't know. Maybe the game's just.
I'll give you one. I'm going to give you 2. I'll give you one. We want to go away from legs to talk about. Do you remember a pitcher, Tony Saunders, a lefty on the
I remember
Rays?
the name. I don't remember
if
that much
anyone's
about
out
him.
there, I want you to YouTube that guy. It's a gruesome injury. He breaks his arm while throwing a pitch, and you actually hear the snap. You're not gonna see any visual the way that we're talking about with the legs, and you see the pain. He throws it, snaps his arm, throws his glove. Extreme amount of pain because lefty. But I'm also gonna give you a lower example. Go back a couple of years to wrestling. Do you guys remember when Sid Vicious jumped off the top rope? And he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
To me, that is still the worst. The guy jumped. He's like 7 foot. He jumps off the top rope, lands, breaks his ankle. He stays up. His legs just hanging, and they had to finish the match because they needed someone to come in for outside interference. This poor guy's hanging on the bottom. People are stomping him.
Well, you want to talk gruesome injuries, though? That's also that was also very similar to when Austin broke his neck.
Yeah,
the
that
pile
was a
driver, and they had to
terrible
finish the match.
You're right.
Yeah.
He slipped right underneath. He couldn't move. That helped him out of the ring.
Yeah.
You're 100% right about
In
that.
real fighting,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow the UFC much. Anderson Silva.
When
Did you see
Chris
it?
Weidman kicked him in the leg. Yeah,
no,
sure.
He kicked Weidman, and his leg.
I thought he snapped his leg, though.
No.
On a kick.
Silva. You know what? They had 2 matches, so
Yes.
Silva's foot snapped.
Yeah, no, but
off
he kicked Weidman the first time, correct?
yeah.
Actually, but social media just bringing that up. Milano, on a serious note, when Chris Weidman's knee checked on, Chris, look at you bringing it just right up. We got here a comment from the social media. Gianluca Milano says, talking about exactly what you're talking about.
Look at that picture, by the way. It came with a picture.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then the second,
That was such a freak accident, too.
Silva fought Weidman again, and this is
you
like
hit it spot on with that one.
this is toward the end of Silva's career when he's known now. John Jones is the pound for pound best fighter of all time, but
And
they used to
obviously his
say
leg
Silva.
was exposed the next time, and it was much easier to break him down.
The second
unfortunately.
fight, he had a gruesome loss to Weidman also.
That's what
which
I'm
is
saying.
crazy,
Yeah. Well, he was exposed at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Andrew Gladwin on Facebook also brings up one that I remember watching. Willis
McGahee.
McGahee getting his knee bent. National championship game.
Yeah,
Miami
absolutely.
versus Ohio State.
It affected the rest of his career, yeah.
Just completely destroyed. He actually was drafted in the first round.
No, he came into the league, but he was an injury case after
You're right.
that.
You're
Though.
100% right. But that was a bad one too. That knee was just completely turned the other way.
I mean, and if you want to talk, you could talk about, the paralyzed people. Ryan Shazier from the Steelers. He's still barely walking.
I would say that, but when we
That's
say
what happened with Austin.
as
He
far
almost
as
got paralyzed.
that is funny though, because as far as gruesome though, right? So you had
Yeah.
major neck injuries for Bilal Powell. We didn't look at nobody even knew
Scary.
had
They're
any
just
idea
scary.
what was going on with that. It didn't even look like he would have to come out of the game really, but it turns out that his injury was incredibly serious. Kevin Everett. The same thing happened where he lost all feeling below his waist, I believe,
Yep.
right?
And now he's walking because they did a procedure of
Correct.
hypothermia. They
But he-
completely essentially dropped his body temperature.
But he was completely he was paralyzed from the waist down, and it looked like a catch and tackle.
Yeah. And it was a
Really?
kick return. It was one of the reasons they changed the rules. Those aren't necessarily gruesome, but they're just very scary, unfortunately.
I gotta ask you. I
Last
gotta
point,
ask you guys.
last point, Chris. Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys the hypothetical. It's not something we want to think about, but if you had to get hit, let's say
You wanna get hit in the head,
paralyzation
and then-
for a month, right? But then you get to walk, or you get one of those gruesome foot injuries. I was talking about it yesterday.
would you
How
rather
the
get-
hell
Would you rather get?
Wait, no,
I don't
hold
want to
on,
say concussion because that's not.
yeah, no.
That's not.
How the hell would you know that you're only going to be paralyzed for a month in that scenario?
That's the last point that I gave you. Last
Okay.
point. This is
all
it.
right. So let's. Okay. Fine. Would you
Who's
rather
telling
get
you
hit?
this?
They always talk about in football, before all these concussions, they used to say, hit me in the head, don't hit me in the legs.
Right.
Because this was 40 years ago, you tore your ACL.
That I'll take.
Now his career was
Absolutely.
over. Nowadays, I tell you, it's what you're going with, it's reverse. I'd rather get hit in the leg than hit in the head.
I'd rather get hit in the
neck.
head than the legs.
I'd rather get
As,
hit.
you know, because you'll get hit in the head, and it's 99% that you will not break your neck on that.
That's true.
So that's why I'd rather
That's
take
true.
the head
I just
hit.
might not remember what
That's why I
did.
tried to
I
give-
might not remember how to cook the next morning.
You're the doctor though. You know that after one hit, that's most likely not going
I
to
know,
happen.
I know.
Or
You're
die
right, if it's
years
just one
early,
hit, but-
earlier.
All right, guys. That's it for gruesome injuries. You're right about legs tend to be more gruesome. Heads could be a little more scary, let's say, for the small percentage that you could be life changing whether not walking or anything like that.
I get you.
So that's it for gruesome injuries for all time. Now we're gonna go to a video game which kind of embraces the gruesome injuries.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna play NFL Blitz. What a beautiful game this game is. There's literally
fantastic.
no rules to this game. And there's body slams, leg drops, whatever you want to do, you can do it. This is pre-CTE football right here.
Fair
I think
enough.
this version's from '99.
Okay, so we're going to get into
So,
it. We got the game on a timeout right now.
All right, so we set up.
Yeah, we're all set up. I'm going to set the stage real quick. We got Chris Closazar. He's the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre. And you got Donnie Boss with the legendary New York
I thought
Jets.
they had Aaron Rodgers in '99.
Glenn Foley, oh yeah. Glenn Foley, Keyshawn Johnson, Curtis Martin, Foley, Jeff, and Wayne Corbett. One of my, honestly, I'm a Giant fan. I liked Wayne Corbett a good amount. That was a good player. But
Absolutely. Who's my
That's it.
running back? Is it Adrian
Curtis
Morella?
Martin, my favorite Martin.
Oh,
Let's
they
go.
did have Martin at this time. Yeah, that's.
We're going into a kickoff, right, bro? We're right into the kickoff. I'll be your announcer. We can talk a little baseball. James Paxton's on the Yankees now. We're jumping right to that breaking news. No, first we'll jump into the game
Donnie,
a little bit.
you want me to play for real or no?
No, you have to play for real.
Oh,
Okay.
The trash talking starts already. He says, "Do you want me to play for real?" I thought you picked that, Donnie.
You know what? I knew what he was gonna do, and
Donnie,
I still
turbo,
couldn't stop it.
turbo, man. You have turbo. You got to use turbo. Z. Come on, I'm
This
rooting
is a
for you.
shame because I'm playing a
D,
pro.
I'm rooting for you.
And before this,
I know.
I was rated the best video game player on this game.
That's true. Oh my God, that was some spin move. That's double Z. He's not telling you any of the buttons, see? If you hit Z twice, is that what you did to spin?
I think you hit it once.
No, you hit it
All right,
twice.
let's get going.
I think you hit it once, but
No, once is turbo.
yeah, it's
Turbo
once.
did.
It's once.
Turbo
It's
did.
once. It's
I
once.
went after that tackle. I just missed him.
All right.
Don't worry.
go.
I gotta play.
got you.
I
Wayne
gotta
Corbett
play.
returning kicks.
Not one of my faster guys for some reason,
I
but
don't know why he's
okay.
returning kicks.
The game's called Blitz for a reason. Watch out,
Oh,
guys.
here we go. He's already calling the sack. Not for Glenn Foley, baby. Glenn Foley rolls out.
Why did I go out of bounds on that
Oh
run?
my God. There's the injuries they embrace. Body slams, leg drops after the game. Oh, Foley runs right into the center. Oh, just.
I had that coming.
Him 10 yards
I had it
back.
coming.
He had it coming. Foley not even rolling out. Keisha, lateral. What?
No,
the
he was
offensive
free and
lineman.
clear.
4th and 30. What are you gonna
Oh, Donnie.
do? You know the smart thing to do.
Of course I'm
There we
going
go.
for
Going
it.
for
that.
the 4th down. This is blitz, baby. Foley.
Come on, yeah, I got that off. Come on.
Yeah, you passed the line of scrimmage before you threw it, Donnie. The rules are still in play.
No, they're not. No, they're
And
not.
Favre, lateral to Mays, and he's in the end zone. Oh! German suplex leg drop, Hollywood Hogan. But
I'm not even sure what you just said. I know, German
Hogan.
suplex.
Yeah.
Oh, Hollywood Hogan's like
Leg drop.
him from the NWA.
Yeah, that's NWO.
This kid is
NWO.
Yeah,
this
that's
kid
the
is an
rap.
absolute
I
pro.
know, he's just crushing you.
I gotta get in the end zone now.
Oh, he kicked the extra point. Wayne Quebec coming back in.
Sometimes you have the feeling.
Return.
Sometimes.
Oh,
See, I'm a WWE guy, so I followed NWO only through the other, Nintendo
WCW.
64.
I know, that was way back when.
I was a WWF guy.
NWO was the best. NWO was the best thing in wrestling.
I didn't
at
watch
the time.
WCW. I only know it from.
I watched
Yeah,
both. And
you know what? I was not the big. I agree with Chris. I was not the
no,
biggest
I was a big,
WCW
I
guy.
was always more WWF, but NWO at the beginning was fantastic.
Nice play.
Hogan.
It
Nash,
was,
and
but
Hall.
if you weren't like, you know, we
Alright,
had
so, but
Monday
did you watch?
night.
You were a WWF guy. When did you watch Nitro then?
From 8 to 9. If you remember, Nitro
Oh,
was 8 to
God.
11.
That was seventh heaven time. What do you mean 8 to 9?
First one, get in the end zone.
He got in the end zone.
Bang, bang, Marshall.
No, do you remember Nitro used to be 8 to 11 and Raw was 9 to 11? So I watched
seventh heaven from 8 to 9.
I watched Nitro.
By the way, I used to watch
take
7
that-
Heaven also.
I
It
take
was
that
such a
back,
great
guys.
Monday night routine.
Guys, I take that back. I didn't have cable until I was like in high school, so I never watched Nitro.
You didn't watch USA?
No, I didn't have cable. What I used to do is I used to tape it at my grandmother's house. My grandmother had the hot box and cable, but I did not have cable, believe it or not. So my old Italian grandmother had hot box and free pay-per-views, and I had only antenna
Well,
TV.
why? I
have
don't
no
understand
idea.
any of this.
I have no idea.
Oh, there was nobody covering him at all.
So what we used to do, we used to take a VHS
was that
tape.
Mo Lewis?
Because my dad watches wrestling too, and we used to tape it at my grandmother's house, and my dad would pick it up from my grandmother's house Tuesday night. And then we would watch Raw on Tuesday, my dad and I, on a VHS
Oh, so
tape.
classic.
I actually really like hearing that. It's a real it's a true American story.
My favorite wrestler of all time? That's tough. The longevity of Shawn Michaels.
I was just gonna say him. Sweet Chin Music.
Shawn
baby.
Michaels was the best, and he was an amazing in-ring wrestler. Of peak popularity is probably The Rock. I loved it.
Shawn Michaels,
The Rock?
I'll actually give you that because Shawn Michaels was like ahead of his time wrestling.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There was always big guys, then it was him. Now it's more going to that. Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels. I do. He's one of them. Is he
Think
your
I'm
favorite
cute.
too? Is he your favorite too?
No,
Did you
I'm
ask?
sexy. He used to be my favorite. Yeah.
So
I mean,
who's
like,
your favorite now?
no, that's why I say used to because I'm not
gotcha.
sure. Like,
Gotcha.
you know.
Gotcha. What about you, Donnie? You got a favorite?
The Undertaker always.
Undertaker?
Yeah.
He's still wrestling every now and then. He comes
Yeah,
back
which is
for a couple
insane to
matches.
me.
Is it the same actor that originally was?
Of course, it's the same Undertaker.
I don't know, man.
They don't
I
just
think,
change
I think
his
they
face.
went through like, I don't know about
They
that.
did have a fake Undertaker.
Yeah.
They did have. Do you remember when there was Undertaker and the fake
I
Undertaker?
cut out a long time ago.
No, that was
Which
a
is
long
probably
time.
why the
No.
Undertaker was my favorite
No,
wrestler.
Donnie, that was a long time ago.
Mark Calloway was not always the Undertaker. You're saying?
No, Mark Calloway was always the Undertaker.
But
But
the
they-
one
The
with
motorcycle
fake one.
on- Undertaker was
no,
him too?
that was the same guy though. But in the mid '90s, they had a storyline where like Undertaker was like dead or whatever, and they had
Oh, wait, was
storylines.
they-
and they
wait,
had
how-
another guy come back. So then there were two Undertakers in the same ring. Donnie, you're making a little comeback. We're talking about wrestling comeback here.
I'm trying.
There were two Undertakers in the ring together, and one was the fake one and one was the real one. All right, Donnie, you cannot let him score.
All right, hold on.
touchdown
Well,
this last play.
don't tell me what I can do.
Here we go.
Wrong guy, but it's
Okay.
You see, I had a guy playing left field though to wait
Yeah,
for
I
that.
know. So we're talking wrestling.
Yeah.
I do want to talk baseball a little bit while this game's going on, because we did have a breaking news today. We had the Yankees just traded for James Paxton. He was the #1 starter with the Seattle Mariners. Little injury risk. Yankees traded their top prospect in Justice Sheffield. Traded another prospect in about the 20s, it's being reported. Swanson,
Nice.
and they traded Thompson Williams, who isn't even a ranked prospect for the Yankees. Donnie, you're a big Yankee hater. How do you feel about the trade? Did 51 just go like this? Like, I can't reach you?
I actually Yeah, look, it's a great trade for the Yankees. I can't say anything bad about
He's under
that.
team control for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable team control on that trade. They gave up Sheffield, but he's a prospect. Who cares? You know, Paxton's a proven MLB pitcher if he's not hurt, of
That's
course.
the thing.
Yeah.
He's a star. He's not just a regular pitcher.
Injuries just worry
I won't
me,
go
though.
that far yet, but he's very good.
Injuries just worry me because he's never pitched more.
No,
that should be forward
I'm
progress.
challenging that.
Can we challenge it?
No,
I don't
all
think
right,
there's no
never mind.
challenge. The ref waves it off. But he's never pitched more than 160. Oh, big sack. He's never pitched more
Use
than
a sack, even though I can't take credit for that, really.
He's never pitched more than
Like in Madden.
160 innings in a season. So injury is definitely a factor, but under team control, there's a little. Favre just threw that lefty. Did anyone see that?
Yeah,
What
man.
is going on in this game? Oh, it's a fumble.
Get that.
Oh, what a huge turnover! I don't believe
Why did I
it.
take it out of the end zone?
That was
I actually
a
don't know if I
massive
could.
turnover. He fumbled at the 1 yard line. Favre threw the ball
It was like
lefty.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Except
Glenn Foley throws it.
I had to get it out. I had to get it out quick.
Had to. You gotta. I love how the QB in this game just throws it with whatever arm he's rolling to. It doesn't matter if it's righty or lefty. Oh,
that's a good point.
Curtis Martin. Oh,
That was a good little cut, I
spin,
thought.
spin.
All right, so what was your question on Paxton a little bit
I
more?
forgot now. That was just so exhilarating what just happened that I completely forgot what I was talking about. Foley to Martin. Martin tries to come back. What a play! I don't believe it. Donnie puts his hand on his head. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No idea.
Foley looking for somebody. He's got Chris Martin again. Oh, 12-yard. Donnie dinking and dunking. Mortal Kombat 4 advertised on the.
It was a great year for video games, even though it was one of the worst Mortal Kombats ever.
Mortal Kombat 4. Oh, Foley to Quebec. First down.
And it keeps going out for no
in the
reason.
quarter.
Is it a one possession game?
Yes.
Going into the fourth.
Extra block. Hike the
Unbelievably.
ball. Here we go again. Donnie drops back. He's got him in. No. Oh, Martin. That could have been a fumble.
I didn't understand what that was
Neither
going
do
on
I.
there at all.
Let's just happy you got the ball. Foley again. Tipped.
Yeah, it was tipped. Yeah, that was the first time I saw that happen in this game. So,
3rd and goal at the 29. I love that 3rd and goal at the 29.
I wanted to go up the middle there.
4th and goal. Does he kick the field goal?
No.
Way. No way. Foley. Oh gosh. That was some
that was
goal
a
line
killer.
stand there, Chris.
That was a killer.
Didn't have a chance.
Goal line right at the 30.
He didn't have a chance. With Paxton, what I was going to say is that,
Wow, they take
not even
forever
user
in this
control.
version. Oh my God, to
stop
throw.
blaming the version.
I'm now actually just
I'm not
covering the field.
I'm just saying.
and
it's
letting my
much
computer.
different than
runs
2000
for it.
version. But
I know, the version's always changed. But Sheffield has been talking about his control. They're not sure if the Yankees are starting to be a little worrisome.
No, that's why the prospect trade for
a proven guy.
a proven guy is a great deal for the
And
Yankees.
and a proven guy that's relatively inexpensive.
Oh
What
my
a stiff
God!
arm!
No!
I don't believe it!
was
Did you
the
see that
game.
stiff arm?
That was
He had
unreal. That was unreal.
It's like
'Cause
he
that,
hit
by the
him.
way, was the turnover.
It's like you hit a brick wall. Oh my God. Quebec jumping. Oh, that's just going to be brutal.
How
That's an
fast
injury
the
waiting
clock
to happen.
moves in this
See
game.
that? I don't want that tackle. We're talking about what tackles we want. I don't want to get choked from behind and slammed on my head.
Wow.
they take forever to throw the ball in this game.
Oh, this game took it. This game was
This is-
exciting.
Blitz 2000 is my favorite
Blitz
video game
2000?
of all time. I think this is 99.
I only remember just Blitz. You know, I don't remember a year attached to it. So I remember it on the arcade.
The NBA jam of football.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's what they were going for.
Definitely.
It's like NHL hits. Quebec catches it going back.
That was a turn. Oh, I
Take a
didn't
knee,
even
just
know.
take a knee, Chris. That's not in the Blitz spirit. Favre going lefty again. Just throwing it deep to Mays. I'm not sure who Mays is.
No, nobody.
I'm pretty good
Who
with
Mays
guys.
is?
Willie Mays Hayes? I never heard of him in my life. Derek Mays?
I want to kick the extra point and cover the
No,
spread.
Packers win.
It's over. No
Packers
time.
win. What
two
was the
green
spread? You're up by
teams.
20. So it was
It was
not
a big
very,
spread.
It was not a very
I don't know if you watched the
sportsmanlike
practice
game.
games.
Not a very sportsmanlike game with what just happened at the
They
end
have
of
Dorsey
that
Levens. I didn't even see the name.
game. Dorsey
of
Levens.
these
He's
guys.
your running back, man.
Was he the running back? And then,
was-
Donald Driver. They
Yeah,
must
that
have
was,
Donald
that
Driver,
was a
right?
good game. It was a good game till the fourth quarter. You know, it was a good game in the fourth quarter. Chris, you took over.
No, yeah, he
Chris-
just got it. With that fumble,
Chris,
did
now,
everything.
Chris, that was your first Brooklyn versus video game, and you really came on strong there. You showed us you're here to stay.
It was a very
You're not messing around.
coincidental
You're not messing
game that
around.
you
No,
picked.
You're not messing around.
Yeah,
We
I'm
know
not.
you're
He was a
messing
pro.
around. You're not messing around. But guys, that's going to be the show. We'll put a little bow on it. That's the show for tonight. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, as always, for Bridgeside Live. Bridgeside Live's got Bullet Society performing. They're a great band, as always, in a great studio here in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And for us, we're signing out. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
I love number 7 is Guido. Did you see that?
Grinch, J. Root.